Hello everybody and welcome back to my Korea inspired build. This is Sims with Amy and this is part 2 of the Sims 4 speed build. So let's just jump right in. So as you can see, the town is getting pretty big. I have gone in without recording and I finished off this back kind of mountain area. I put in a lot more trees and I gave the stairs some banister rails. I think that's what they're called. I don't know. Yeah, so I want this to be springtime, so there are a lot of cherry blossom trees and some dead trees. And this area, which we built in part 1, I have added some windows and doors. They're not filled in on the inside. The interior is not done for those back apartment buildings, but I have done the interior to some of these cafes. So let's have a quick look. This is my pumpkin themed cafe. In Korea, there are a lot of themed cafes and I love pumpkins, so I wanted to make my own pumpkin themed cafe. This does not exist. I wish it did. I would go here. Look how cute it is. Look at all the orange. I just thought it was adorable and there's lots of little pumpkins everywhere. I really wish this was a real cafe, but it's not, unfortunately. So anyway, this is the pumpkin one. I think it looks very cute. It turned out really well. The downstairs is adorable. I'm using a lot of custom content in this build just because I want this to look as realistic as possible. So this build is not going to be on the Sims 4 gallery, but I hope you enjoy the video anyway and get some ideas for your own builds. And if there's any custom content that you really like the look of, please let me know in the comments and I will let you know who created it and where you can find it on CurseForge, because I only ever get all of my items from the CurseForge website. Everything I own, well, everything I download is from there. Okay, so that was our pumpkin one. This next cafe is a little bit more chic. She's a bit dark. She's a bit scary. She's kind of black and white themed with some like rustic wood. I couldn't really fit on a till like where they pay, so there isn't one. I'm just imagining they're going to use like a tablet to pay in this cafe. Yeah, so we've got a little downstairs toilet and a weird little sink room. This is just a really kind of basic layout. There's not really anything fancy, and I know that bit does stick through the wall, but we're just gonna have to ignore that. Just ignore it clipping through. There's nothing to see here. Calm vibes only. Okay, the next building, I don't know what to do with that. I might make that into maybe like a tourist center kind of thing. And then our next little cafe, which is a Hanok style, which is a traditional Korean house. This is, yeah, it's just a really cute kind of brown cafe. brown cafe. We've got some lovely monstera in there and just, yeah, a really cute little cafe in here. And I'm using so much CC to make this look really as realistic as possible. I've got some little plants. And then I even popped down some like plates and bags. I just pretended there's some like tourists visiting this area and they've got their little suitcase with them, but they're having like some tea. Oh, and I popped in a Christmas tree because I think I will throw up a Christmas tree now on the screen, because when you walk around Korea in like cafes and restaurants, they still have Christmas decorations up. I did mention this in part 1, so I just thought, you know what? Let's throw down a Christmas tree to make this look very realistic. Okay, this is going to be my really busy street. This town is kind of based on Suwon City, and that kind of busy area is really near Suwon Station, the subway station. So I think it's X11. If you go out there, the street looks very busy. I can put up a picture now on screen. So yeah, I want to try and mimic that area down there. It's not finished yet. This is our little bus stop at the front of the lot, and I don't know if anyone's ever done this before, but I wanted it to include a subway station. So really we need like exit 11 here, but it's not, I don't have the 11 number, so it's number 1. the subway isn't finished. I've just kind of done a rough layout. We do have a train in here, a subway train. It's from the Snowy Escape Pack, and I think the numbers are custom content. Whoa, okay. Now we're going into the speed build. I just wanted to give you a quick tour in slow motion, but yeah, so yeah, here we go. That kind of shocked me. I wasn't paying attention to the screen. Ah! Okay, so we're gonna just do some basic toilets, basic subway toilets. So there's one item I really wish I had, which is this blue soap on a stick. And it's everywhere. If you go to any kind of public toilet, especially in the subways, there's this blue soap on a stick, and it looks a little bit gross. I do use it. I wish I didn't have to, but yeah, it's everywhere in Korea, this weird blue soap. It's fun. It's fun to use. It looks a bit odd, but it's fine. So yeah, I wish I did have that to make this subway loo area look very realistic, but I don't think there's any custom content for a blue soap on a stick. If you are a content creator, well, yeah, for The Sims 4, a CC creator, can you please make a blue soap on a stick? If you Google it, you'll see loads of it. Yeah. So just Google Korea blue soap on a stick, and that's what I need for this subway station. Right, anyway, I'll finish off the toilets in my own time. I feel like it's a little bit boring to make. So instead, I've moved on to making a subway, kind of like restaurant, like a ramen. Oh, I want to do like a little ramen. It's not a takeout shop, but it's a very quick eating thing. Oh God, I feel like, yeah, what am I on about? It's like, you know, like Burger King or McDonald's. It's very fast food. There we go. Oh my gosh, my brain today. So this is like a fast food ramen restaurant in the subway, which there are quite a lot of these. You can also get like little bakeries in a subway and cafes, and there's some subways have a huge underground shopping area. I don't know if there's any nearby. I know there's quite a big one in Myeongdong, and Suwon's one doesn't have a really huge underground shopping center. It does have like a few sock shops and phone shops, and I think there's a little flower stall in there as well. I don't normally go to Suwon too often, but yeah, there are quite a lot of shops in the underground subway station. So this is a little ramen one, and I thought I'd do a lovely bright red chair, and I just kept this very, very basic. I threw a few posters onto the wall, and yeah, I just didn't want to overclutter this, and I just don't think there is too much going on in subway restaurants. It's just very quick. You got to get in, you got to get out, and you got to get your train before it leaves. Actually, speaking of trains, the trains to Suwon, there's a Suwon Bundang line, which is like the yellow line. It is so slow. The trains come like every 20 minutes, and I think if you've lived in Korea, it's a very like bully culture, which means it's like everything is very, very fast, everything is very, very quick. Yeah. So for a train to come every 20 minutes, that seems so slow to me now, which is crazy because when I lived in England, like the village bus only came, I think, twice an hour, and sometimes one of them didn't come. So it's like one bus once an hour, and yeah, that didn't seem too bad to me. But now I live here in Korea, I think waiting 20 minutes for a subway train is just way too long. I always complain. I'm like, they need to get more trains on these tracks. Like at least, I think 10 minutes wait is fine, but 20 is no. I wonder if you've got a subway system in your country, how long does it take for a train to come? Like how often are the trains coming? Is it like every 10 minutes? Every 20 minutes? Every half an hour? What do you think is a long time to wait for a train? I really think like waiting 20 minutes now is just way too long. It's insane. Okay, I think the ramen shop is almost finished. I think that's a vet machine thing. because there's no kind of like payment machine, so I kind of used the vet one. I wanted it to be like you type in your order and then you can press and pay with the machine, which is very, very common now in Korea. You just touch the screen and press order, pay with a card. Well, you don't even need a card, you just tap your phone to the machine and it's all done. So that's my little takeout ordering screen thing. There's no human interaction here. Right. Oh, I do pop in a few plants to the subway, which is realistic. In Seoul, there's some stations with these huge giant plant walls and they look fantastic. They're a little bit dusty, but the plants are real and they look really, really cool. So I thought this kind of fake Suwon station subway, they deserve a plant wall as well. I don't think there's any in there, actually. I haven't seen any. They just got a few shops, and then I think there's a Lotte department store that links to the station. I think the Lotte department store area might have plants, but in the main subway area there isn't any, which is a grand shame. I did download some like lifts. I don't know if these work or not. I think I need a mod to make those like elevators, lifts work. Yeah, so they're just there to look nice. And at the moment I'm making a I suppose like a subway officer office. Like if you need help or something, then you can like knock here. I think there are like subway police and they have like little offices in some of the stations as well. So this is kind of like a subway police officer station. Office room. Yeah, okay. It looks pretty cool. I'm using some of the already built rooms, the saved rooms, but just because it's really, really easy. There's like a police room in those pre-built rooms, and you can just grab loads of items from that and throw them down really, really quickly. Yeah, so I think for now I'm gonna leave the subway. I will try and finish that in my own time, and then I'll give you a quick tour of it in part 3. I'm not sure how many parts to this speed build series there will be. Maybe 4, maybe 5. I think this is such a huge build to do. It's just taking much longer than I thought. But yeah, maybe 4 or 5 parts to this whole series. But I really hope you enjoy it and, you know, get some ideas for your own like Sims builds. Okay, so we're now topside and we're back in the city, and this front building I'm going to make into a kind of cute like a French themed cafe. I know it's all kind of grey and steely and well industrial kind of looking at the moment, but I do go in with some pink and then do like a Paris theme. I think last week I downloaded some Paris themed custom content. I think it's like a macaroon shop, and there was some like Paris like paintings and like a giant Eiffel Tower wall clock, which will be the main theme of this cafe. Like Paris, woo. I should really do a Santorini cafe because that would be really cool. That kind of then links into my other build. I was actually playing with the idea of in every single build I make, I can add in like some sort of reference to my previous builds. So I could do like a Santorini cafe in this. And then the next kind of realistic build I could do a Korean cafe or restaurant and also a Santorini restaurant or cafe. Or maybe I could include like a Santorini painting in like one of the houses, or like a Korean something in one of the houses. So like literally as I go along in all the series, there'll be like little, I think called Easter eggs. Like when you watch a film, there's kind of like hidden Easter eggs linking to other things. So yeah, I want to make my own like little Easter eggs in each build. And maybe in the future, in many years, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that build. Oh, she's added that in from that build. That's cool. Oh, she's referenced that build from many years ago. So yeah, maybe I can do something like that. I think that'll be really interesting to do. Okay, I've got some little shelves on the wall. These are custom content and they didn't want to play very nicely with me. A lot of the things wouldn't stack in there, and I know you can like put the items on the shelf and then move the shelf and then move all the items, but because I want to put so much on these shelves, I just could not be asked to keep moving everything back and forth. So I was just like, whatever, if it clips through, it clips through. It'll be fine for now. I will go in and finish this in my own time. I just didn't want to like record me just playing with shelves for like half an hour. I think that could be a little bit boring. My sisters watch these videos, and I remember one of my sisters saying that she got really annoyed with me. She watched me choose windows for one of my builds for like 20 minutes, and she's like, Amy, you put all those windows into that build and then you deleted them and chose another lot, and it just made me really angry. I just thought it was really, really funny. She got really angry at me of deleting windows and choosing new windows. That was really funny. I liked that. I hope I can annoy her more by putting down more windows in the future and then deleting them and then putting new ones down. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. Right, I do end up changing the door position here just because I realized the door would lead onto the main street. There's no like raised pathway at this section, so I moved the front door to like the middle. But yeah, it looks good, and I do put in some like low lighting. That's really cool, kind of hanging over each table. And then I feel like the downstairs is almost done. I do add in a little pink bathroom. It's very slim, and I don't think the Sims will be able to use that in real life because it's too small. The bathroom is way too small. You'll see when I make it. It's just, yeah, the Sims will not be able to get in there. Yes, I found it. The giant like Paris painting. Doesn't that look great? I think this cafe is really, really cool. If there's any cafes you want me to include in this build, please let me know in the comments, because I have a lot of empty buildings which would make a great cafe, and they can be all different themes. It could be any theme. So yeah, leave a comment below if there's a cafe that you want me to include, and I will build it and then I'll show you it. Yeah, look at that Paris cafe. It looks really cool. I really liked that Eiffel Tower, like sizing it up and then putting it out the front. And yeah, there's a little menu. I thought I'd throw it down on the floor in front, just because if someone does come in to this cafe, there's no way they're going to see the menu on the wall at the back, so far away. So I put it on the floor in front of the little counter, which does sometimes happen. There are like floor menus and you just then have to look down. I think I've experienced that once or twice. Okay, just the upstairs to do now. There's not really too much more. I do change that, I think it's a parasol, the outdoor parasol, to pink. And then I add in some pink seating. I think I go for a glass table again upstairs. And then the indoor seating upstairs, I make a little bit more comfortable. Just because I think a lot of privately owned cafes, they don't have all the same seating. It is slightly different. And they do have like some comfier seats here and there. So yeah, the upstairs will be more comfortable. And I did find some macaroons, which I added. Do we call them macaroon or macaron? Or is that both wrong? I say macaroons. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. It's probably definitely wrong. Yeah. Okay, so here's our little tiny cute parasols. They're nice and pink now. They look very cute with the like Parisian theme. I really love those glass tables, actually. They look really good. They look very delicate. And yeah, I think those parasols are very, very needed in Korea during the summer. Actually, I would not be caught dead outside in the summertime. Yeah, it's just way too hot. You'd just melt. You would melt on those upstairs seating areas or I'd be indoors with all of the AC, and yeah, I'd be hiding in there until I could go back into the subway and then back home and then throw on the AC again. It's horrible. Ugh. Especially if you come from like living in England, where the like hottest temperature in the summer was like 25 degrees, and that might be for like a week. I know it's a little bit hotter now because of global warming, but it used to be like 25 degrees and then it would just rain again. But now in Korea, it's like, what was the highest last year? Maybe 35? Maybe 36 in some areas, but where I am, it was about 35, and the humidity was insane. Oh, it felt like walking in soup outside, and I just tried to avoid it and stay inside like a hermit. And it was, yeah, that's the only way to do it. If you do want to like come and visit Korea, or yeah, I would just not come in August and July. I think the best time to visit would be springtime, although there is a lot of fine dust in the air. So if you do have asthma, you might want to bring some like air filter masks. Or another great time to come would be the end of October or November, because that has really, really lovely weather and there's not too much air pollution. I think normally at that time there's not too much. Yeah, so come in October or come in April, and yeah, have a lovely time and go to lots of Korean cafes and go cafe hopping. There's so many nice ones. I wish I could go to all of them, but I don't think that'll be great on my wallet. They can get a little bit pricey. I think these days prices at cafes have gone up quite a bit. It's now about 7,000 won for a cup of tea. 7,000 won in UK pounds is, or how much is that? Maybe £3. I think the English pound at the moment compared to Korean won is really, really strong. So if you're coming from England to Korea, you're gonna think everything is really, really cheap. So you should come now. Okay, let's talk more about the build. I'm going into this middle section and I wanted to add not a hanok building, but a Korean style little house here. And I'll put a picture on the screen now of the one that I took a picture of and the one I'm going to try and copy. I don't think I did it justice. It does need to be a lot bigger than this. So I am thinking about just doing a smaller house build, like a small one, not a giant town. And then in this house build, I will just focus on making a really, really good and realistic Korean house, because this one is tiny and it needs to be way bigger than this. I think it also needs to be 2 stories. And yeah, it's just very, very tiny. It doesn't look like 100%. Yeah, look at it, it's so small. I can't even do the roofing that I want to do because it's too small. Oh, it's so sad looking. It comes out fine. I think it does look okay. But it needs to be way bigger than this. So I think I will do a little speed build of a real Korean house later, and just maybe do the one house, not a whole town. I feel like I'm a little bit crazy for doing a whole town sometimes. It's a lot to do, and sometimes I also think these will never be finished. I do try my best to get them done, and I get really excited to show everybody. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope everyone likes it. I hope they get inspired, and I hope they enjoy the video and just me chatting away. But yeah, who knows what people think of these. I just hope I make something interesting for everyone to see. And yeah, it is fun to do. Yeah, okay, so here I am trying to figure out, I don't know, I want to make this look more interesting. In the picture, it has got like a more pulled out section, but there's just no space So I threw those pillars in just kind of mimic like the pulled out section, but it's not really. And this kind of half wall will be our fence, just because I don't have any brick like fences which are tall enough. So I will be using a wallpaper, a brick wallpaper for that. And I will be shoving in a fake gate. That will not work. No one will be able to get in here, but it looks good. It just doesn't work because you can't put a gate on a half wall. Anyway, but it looks good. It looks good. And I will do a little time hop in a minute, just because my computer was like no and shut itself down. So after the time hop, I will just show the house again really quickly, and then we will go back into building more of this section as a speed build. Yeah, okay, so the time hop is really gonna come up in a minute. I'm just throwing in a few more details, and yeah. There's not really too much to do. Obviously we do need an aircon on the side. And okay, ready for the time hop. Oh, I'm just gonna add in some lovely concrete brick flooring, and then yeah, some for the roof. And then what else am I doing? Oh, I'm adding a little plant there, and then the time hop is gonna come now. Ready? Okay, here we are. We've just got a few more things outside that are placed down. We've got a little pile at the back as well, and I have gone into debug and grabbed quite a few things that I want to use later on. It's just my little debug pile that I'll just go back and forth and grab stuff from. Right, let's go into this next section. My main goal for this little section is to fit in as many buildings as humanly possible, and I know that means a lot of these buildings will be quite small and not nearly as big as we need them to be, but at the same time it's fine. I mean, most of these buildings will be cafes or restaurants, and there's going to be quite a few of them, so at least one or two of these cafes will actually work properly for the Sims, and the rest will just be there to look good. Okay, so let's talk about this cafe I'm now building. Maybe this is like a cafe building video, I think. Yeah, we've just done the subway and one Paris cafe, and now we're doing another cafe. Anyway, this one is inspired by a real life cafe, and it's really funky. Every time I see it, I'm like, whoa. I need to go in there one time. It looks really interesting. If you look at the photo, there's like this like plastic bubble thing you can sit in on the roof. And then I think the theme of this restaurant is like a frog, like a green frog. I don't know, it just looks really fun, and it's always quite full actually. I think when I walked past this, it hadn't opened yet, but normally this is very packed out and you can't normally get a seat. But hopefully one day I can get in there and sit inside that bubble. Okay, here I am trying to recreate the bubble. I think actually in real life there might be 2 or 3 of these bubble things on the roof, but we're only going to have one, and I'm making it from a roof section, which I'll then turn into glass. And in the inside I will put in a ladder so the Sims can actually get up into the bubble and sit in there. I'm not sure if they want to do that. There's so many other options in this build for seating, so they might never go in here. I probably need to, I need to force a Sim to get in here, because they probably won't go in without me forcing them to. Yeah, okay, here's our little bubble. It looks really cute. I know in the photo there's supposed to be, I don't know, like some sort of, is it like a covering or something over the bubble, but it's just, yeah, I tried fitting it in later on and it just doesn't fit. Like it's either, well, the bubble's like a little bit too pointy, but if I make it smaller, then it won't let me have the ladder, I think, or I don't think the Sim can walk in there properly. I just want the Sim to be able to go upstairs, so I got rid of that covering for it, which It's a shame, but at least the Sims will be able to go in there, hopefully. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to play test this later and see what happens. I'm actually quite excited to see what they do in this town. I think I might have to then make a part 6 to this series, and then the part 6 will be a playtest. And we can just see everyone come in here and do stuff. I don't think I'll make this a residential lot. I think I should make it some sort of community one, just so I can get in as many people as possible. Although I think there is a limit to how many Sims you can have on a lot. Unless I do a cheat and I can make myself have like 40 Sims or 50 Sims in one place. But then I think the game does start to break down. But I think in general, maybe about 20 Sims like appear on one lot and that's it. They need more Sims in the world. Like sometimes I feel like the game feels too empty and we need more. We need more stuff happening. I want more birds flying around. I want rats running everywhere, like in cities. And I just want more people doing stuff. I think it'll be really interesting to see like people doing jobs as well. Like I know you can go to like a lounge and you'll see someone working behind the bar, but like outside the lounge, I want to see like a Sim, and I want to see them like sweeping the street or like collecting the trash, or I don't know, I want to see people like working and you can go talk to them and they're like, no, I'm busy working, go away. I'm busy sweeping, you need to come back later, missy. That's what I want to happen. I just want more just life in the Sims. I know if you've got like 8 Sims on a lot and you're just playing with a household, that then feels quite a lot, especially if you then like have a barbecue or a party and loads more come over, then that feels very realistic. But when you go to like the public places, it needs to be more stuff happening. I want more and more. Okay, here I am. I really wanted to put a frog on top, but I couldn't find a frog, so I'm just trying to think, what can I put on top of onto the cafe instead. And as I go through all of the kind of decorations, I am just grabbing green stuff and throwing it down so I can use it to decorate later. I will finish decorating this one in my own time, just because this video will then be like an hour long, and I don't know if people like really, really long videos. It's just me picking clutter, really. All the clutter. I'm just getting all the green stuff, which will work in a cafe. And yeah, I think later on I think it's from what is the beach pack with, is it Solani? Yeah, I found like a weird fish in a net balloon, which I stick on top, which it doesn't look too bad. It looks kind of cute. I like it. Okay, this next building, I don't know what that will be. Maybe just another cafe, or maybe a restaurant. I feel like a little fancy Japanese restaurant in there would be cute. I think I will put in a Chinese restaurant as well, because I do have a lot of Chinese custom content food, so that could look pretty good. I'll put some of the food onto the tables and that'll look really fancy. So this one will probably be a Japanese, like a ramen restaurant, and then I'll do a Chinese one somewhere. Yeah, and then probably another cafe and another cafe. Actually, speaking about cafes, I was thinking of doing maybe a games cafe or a karaoke room, or maybe a PC bang, which is a PC cafe room. It's just got a load of computers in it and a load of sweaty guys on a computer. I've never been in one, but I'm told that's what it's like. Yeah, and I've only ever been to a karaoke room once as well. I don't really like karaoke. Oh, I'm too shy to do that. I think that's why I don't show my face on any of these videos, because I know like a lot of YouTubers, they show themselves as well. I really like watching James Turner, and he's really fun to watch, but I'm way too shy to show my face. I feel like I make really, really weird expressions as well when I'm building something. Apparently I like screw up my face quite a bit, like I'm concentrating, and yeah. I don't want anyone seeing that. So you'll just have to suffer with my voice. Actually, I hope my accent isn't too annoying. I know some people think like a British accent is really annoying to listen to. So I was thinking, oh my God, maybe I sound terrible. Yeah, I think to listen to like American accents or Australian ones are quite nice. They just seem the most natural. I think all the TV shows that I watch on Netflix or Disney, they're all American, so that's normal to listen to. When I watch like my videos back, I'm like, oh my God, I sound really weird. Why do I sound so British? It's not normal. I swear I don't sound like that. Oh yeah, so hopefully my voice isn't too annoying. If it is, I'll try and have to do an American accent to make it sound more nicer to listen to. Right, anyway, about the build, I am splitting this building in half. I thought maybe the computer room could be in here, the PC bang, maybe, or if I had the new pack, I could do a really cool like small tattoo shop in there. That would be interesting to have. A little tiny tattoo place. And then at the back of that building, I want to put in one of the fake lifts again, and then maybe like a public toilet, which should be good. And then on the other side of the building, I don't know what I'll put in there. Maybe another restaurant. I do need to add in some clothes shops or like little knickknack shops. In Suwon, there's quite a few little knickknack areas or knickknack shops, and they're all very adorable. I think the last time we went, I got this really cute little keychain, and it was this little black cat because my house rabbit is black, or one of them is black, and yeah, they don't really have that many rabbit keychains, so I just got a black cat one instead. I was like, I will pretend that this is a rabbit. Yeah, okay, so if you do come to Suwon and like in the future or whatever, there's so many cute little shops. They're not too expensive either. Okay, oh no, I didn't make that into a restaurant. It's now another coffee shop. Lovely, excellent. I think the sign on there actually looks really good. Okay, that'll be another coffee shop. Maybe the next one can be a restaurant, and then the next one can also be a restaurant. We need more restaurants. I think I will finish a few of these restaurants in my own time, and then I can show you maybe this section finished in part 4, and then in part 4 we can then start building the next area, which is just filled with debug items at the moment. I think that would be really good. I can give you a tour at the start of part 4 of this middle area. I still haven't done the back area actually, with all of those taller buildings. There's too much to do. And also a lot of these cafes aren't fully finished, and the subway isn't fully finished. There's still so much to do, but I think this has been enough for part 3. I think I will finish the video in a minute, just because this is getting really long and you probably got other things to do. Anyway, if you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. In part 4 we've got a lot more things to do, a lot more things to decorate. And yeah, I hope you will be back, and if not, I have another speed build coming soon, which will be CC free. I hope it will be up next week, and yeah, you'll be able to download that one from the gallery when it's finished. And hopefully you just had fun watching this one, because this one won't be up in the gallery just because there's a lot of custom content. Yeah, okay, well, that is it for today. I will see you in part 4 or another build, and I hope you have a really great week, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye everybody. Oh, and thank you for subscribing if you do. Leave a comment, leave a like. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.